Go get some dim sum. Always makes me happy. Really funked out, man. It's these little things that bother you. Like, I had a group text going with Scott and Larry for years. And if I see something that's cool or something funny or whatever, we usually share stuff back and forth, you know? And this morning, I was just going through my phone instinctually, and I saw the group text, and then I was actually going to share something, because I forgot for a minute, you know? It's like that sometimes. Sure everything's shipped in? Yeah, we're good. And then it hits you. It's like there's no Scott on the other end of this, it's just Larry. It's really sad, man. Loss is always sad if it's somebody you care about, a friend, a family member. I did hear from Scott's nephew. He saw my video from last night, and he did send me Charlie's phone number. And I asked him, I was like, well, I'm not going to reach out right away, but I will when the time is right. And I asked him, have you spoken to him at all since this happened? How's he doing? And he said that his mom, Charlie's mom, told his mom that he's just really quiet, which Charlie's usually a quiet kind of dude. You know, that's rough. I know back when my I had about probably the worst fucking month that you can have, pretty much. Caught my girlfriend cheating on me. I had to put my dog down from cancer. My father died, and my grandmother died within like a 3-4 week period. Mom was up in Canada dealing with the aftermath of Nana. I didn't go up to say goodbye to my dad because I was dealing with the ex-girlfriend drama, and frankly I was still kind of pissed at him for never being there. I regret that all these years later. I should have been the bigger man, but whatever. I guess I was in a you were never there for me, so now you know what it feels like kind of mindset. But I was dealing with so much other shit, I wasn't thinking clearly. I should, and I regret it to this day. I should have driven up, dropped everything. Although I didn't have anyone to watch my dog, because that was before he was put down. He was after that. And I didn't, wasn't motivated. And his wife sent me an excoriating email, piece of shit, you're not half the man your father is, blah, 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 blah. I let it go. I just didn't say anything else. And I sent my condolences. But anyway, that 3-4 weeks, that's when I ended up calling in sick to my job for like a week and a half straight. I ended up losing my job. I just couldn't function. I didn't want anyone to fucking talk to me. Locked myself in my townhouse, and I just got wasted, dude. Not the best way to go, but I was dealing with so much loss and emotional bullshit from all that together. The last thing I wanted was anybody coming by saying they're sorry or condolences and blah blah blah. I just wanted to be left alone. Not that anybody ever came by anyway, but yeah, in hindsight I didn't deal with that very well. But I know what it feels like to get a big ton of loss dumped on you, and it sucks. Sometimes you just need to breathe a little, process it, It is what it is, I guess. Anyway. Alright, let me go get some dim sum. I enjoy it. It makes me happy. The world feels a little less bright today. And that's usually the case when you lose someone that you care about, I'm more heartbroken for Charlie and the family, What the fuck are you driving? I used to have an old Ford Ranger. Sounds like I had the 4-cylinder. It was a white extended cab Ford Ranger, stick shift, fucking truck couldn't get out of its own way. It was too heavy for the 4-cylinder. Why they would even put a 4 in that truck would baffle me. It wouldn't go anywhere. You could floor that bitch in first gear and you're creeping up on an on-ramp. Fucking dumb truck. I hear the V6s were actually pretty good. But yeah, I had a little white Ford Ranger. Little sound system in it. That's when my genius ass went to the tint shop and I said, let's get limo tint all the way around with like a 40% windshield, which was great in the daytime in the bright hot Florida sun, but once the sun went down, I couldn't change lanes without putting my windows down. And they were manual windows. Were they manual? I think they were. Might have been power. I don't know. It's a long time ago. But at night, all you saw was the reflection of the dash. You couldn't see shit. I was like, all right, this was a mistake. Way too dark. Horrible truck. Anyway. All right, so let me go get some shrimp dumplings and shrimp shumai. Put some hot oil on it. I'm not doing much with the gun stuff for a little bit. I'm kind of avoiding the gun room. You know, just like I'm in like a funk. I need to get over the funk. And then get back out there. Keep on keeping on, as they say. Alright. Be good. Later. Yeah, grab the dim sum. Love that stuff. It's really good. I was thinking about the first time I met Scott. He was this random dude that reached out via Messenger, inviting me to go shoot. It was, I'll pick you up. And I canceled on him a couple times. I didn't know who he was. And the paranoia in me was like, some stranger wants to come pick me up and take me out into the middle of the woods. And I'm like, I don't know. Eventually, he asked a few times. And then I finally said, yeah, sure, let's go. Because we chatted back and forth a bit. And that first ride out, I had no idea where we were going. We were getting further into farm country. I remember being a little paranoid. Oh, is he going to kill me? You never know, right? Strange man from the internet wants to take me out into the woods. What could go wrong, you know? And that was my first trip to the club, you know? And then that began an addiction, really. I went with him multiple times after that, and then eventually I went and did my own membership, did the orientation. You know, usually we went together anyway, but then when he stopped shooting as much, I started going on my own. And it felt weird, because you used to go on with your boys, you know, it's more fun, especially at the action ranges. Rifle ranges, and you know, you just do your thing. But yeah, you know, I might take my bolty. Scott loved his bolt guns. That was his obsession, and his reloading. I don't know. Maybe I'll get into reloading. I have nowhere to put stuff though, man. It's a lot of stuff. I mean, like I said a while back, I could probably reorient my master bedroom and put a bench in there and put all the reloading stuff in there. I could probably make that work. Drill down through, because the press is going to have to be in there pretty well. And then buy all the small little things you need. A lot goes into that reloading. Those times I went over to Scott's and he was showing me the ropes, I was also surprised by how much it is. Now, it's not really a lot, but when you're new to it, you're like, oh, okay. You don't know what to expect. Now, it used to be reloading was a more affordable means of having ammo for your stuff. These days, with the price of components, I don't think there's much savings there. In fact, it might even cost a bit more sometimes. After buying the brass casings and the bullets and the powders. I have the powder and the casings and stuff in a box. I was storing them up for the next time. Once it cooled off, I was going to head over to Scott's and do another round. Obviously, that's not happening. So I don't know if I want to get into it or not. I might just sell the stuff I got. I don't know yet. But yeah, I thought of that. That was funny. I'm sitting there all paranoid. Scott turned out to be an awesome dude. Straight up cool Florida boy. Wish I had taken him up on his multiple invitations to go gig fishing a couple times, though. I regret not going. I just didn't, especially in the warmer months. I just didn't. There were times that he would get picked up by his buddy, and he would say, I didn't get home till like 6 a.m. last night. It's like, I didn't see me enjoying that. Out there, soaking wet, walking around stabbing fish. I mean, it sounded cool, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know, man. You love that boat of his. Wonder what Charlie's gonna do with probably sell it, I guess. I don't think Charlie's a big into fishing. I don't think. I assume he's gonna sell some of the gun stuff too, I guess. No, in a non-shitty way. If he does, I'd like to find out. Maybe buy Scott's favorite gun that he kept by his bedside was his BCM 11.5, I think. That was his go-to with his RC2 on it, I think. Yeah. I'd like to have something of Scott's to remember him by. But I'm not going to ask, to sound like a douchebag. Hey, you going to sell your dad's stuff? No. But if I happen to hear later down the pike that they are thinking of doing that, I may inquire and offer him a really high offer, just to help the kid out. But to have something at Scott's would be kind of meaningful to me. I don't know what, something. Can't believe he's gone. It's always a shock. I've lost friends before, but usually I lost the ones that have died. I've lost back in the day that were going down like a darker path, and we used to have fun, go out partying in our 20s, and then you kind of grow up and get a job, and you leave that behind, but they stick with it and the drug use and all that, and you just like, I can't be a part of this. And then several years later, you hear that they died. It's that scenario, but not somebody really close to me to the point of we communicate on the regular. Now, the ones that died, I'm very sad about, but the writing was on the wall. When you're using hardcore drugs, it's kind of inevitable. Bad decisions. But when it's somebody that's just living their life, living it well, they get hit by something like a tragic heart attack, Now, not that there are lots of signs for him. He should have gone in multiple occasions and say, man, I was cutting the grass. I felt like I was going to have a heart attack. I had to go inside. It was too hot. Stuff like that, And I'd say, don't you want to go somewhere and get checked out? I don't know if he had health care. He was a private contractor, so I don't know. Maybe it was financial. But, it's a shame. It's a shame. Oh, well. He's not in pain anymore. He's up there with the big dude. Definitely, world feels a little less bright. What they say in Harry Potter #7 there. Don't pity the dead, Harry. You should pity the living, especially those who live without love. Yeah. That about sums it up, I guess. Rest in peace, buddy.